And we are back in our NAR studios here at Carver Arena in downtown Peoria, the basketball capital of Illinois. As we bring you 3A state basketball, congratulations to Chicago Marshall on their third place win. Congratulations on a great season for Champaign Centennial, the defending state champs. Made it all the way back to the Final Four, but just came up a little short. Couldn't hit those threes today, and they hit them early, but then couldn't hit them after that.
Yeah, that kind of summed it up. I think the thing that Marshall did in the second half looked like they went into like a diamond and one on Rice. And I don't believe Rice had 6 points in the second half. So that was a big key for Marshall.
You talk about Chicago Marshall, a team unranked in the preseason in the Chicago area. Kurt Pegler talked about having that preseason poll kind of pinned or taped to their jerseys on the first day of practice by Henry Cotton. And that had to be a motivator for this team, and that's one of the fun things about high school basketball. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And, the thing that Marshall has going for them, when you play in the Chicago Public League Red West, you're challenged day in, day out. And as the season went on, they got better and better. I think they probably lost about 3 games after Christmas. So, you have to credit Coach Cotton as well.
Absolutely. In just his second year, he takes home a third-place trophy for Chicago Marshall, adding to their great basketball tradition at that school. Speaking of tradition, Peoria Richwoods coming up next. They take on Country Club Hills Hillcrest for the 3A state championship. And we take a look at Google Earth to show you where these two teams hail from, and varying spots. Peoria Richwoods, well, they're right at home. We begin with Country Club Hills Hillcrest on the south side of the Chicagoland area. 30-3 as they come in here today. And Peoria Richwoods, well, it's just a crosstown drive for them. They hop on University Avenue and head south and hit the interstate, and they're down here in probably 10 minutes or so. They know this arena very well, and they looked really comfortable early yesterday, but kind of a bugaboo for Richwoods is they led by, I think, as many as 18 yesterday, and then allowed Marshall to get back in the game. Now, not taking anything away from Marshall, but that has been a bugaboo for Richwoods, getting the big leads early and not being able to hang on. The games get a lot closer at the end than Mike Ellis would like. How do you combat that kind of thing as a team?
It's kind of hard because as a coach, you study, stressing them, look, let's take care of the ball, but, these are kids and stuff, so when they see they have that lead, coach don't know what he's talking about. We'll just take it easy.
All right, let's take a look at the tale of two cities for Hillcrest. First of all, 16,723 in Country Club Hills. In Cook County, 1,329 their enrollment. South Suburban SICA Conference. Peoria, 114,000 strong here in Peoria County. Just under 1,400 their enrollment in the Mid-State 6 Conference. And we talk about Marshall, unranked in the preseason in the Chicagoland area. Peoria Richwoods was picked to finish 4th in a 5-team league. It's still called the Mid-State 6, but there's only 5 teams, and they were picked to finish 4th. They have surpassed all preseason expectations by getting to the state championship game here today.
Yeah, I credit the coach. They've done a real good job down the stretch, and they've stayed focused and stayed with their game plan. After watching them yesterday, I saw a lot in terms of what their game plan was, and they kind of stuck with it.
And they have stuck with it all the way to the state championship game. They will take on Country Club Hills Hillcrest for the 3A title. We're back in Peoria after this local timeout. And we are back in Peoria, just moments away from Hillcrest and Peoria Richwoods, playing for the 3A state championship. Lee Hall along with Anthony Longstreet, formerly of Chicago Crane. And you can kind of feel the buzz in the stands here. This place is starting to fill up a little bit, and a little bit of a home court edge maybe for Peoria Richwoods here today.
Yeah, I would say so. When you look around the stands, they have most of the fans that are here for them, so that should give them quite an edge.
All right, both teams playing well coming to state. We take a look at how they streak here into Peoria. And Hillcrest won 13 of their last 14. Ironically, their last loss to Champaign Centennial. They avenged that loss here yesterday, bumping Centennial into the third place game, and the Hawks now will play for a state championship. For Peoria Richwoods, just 2 losses this year. They're on an 18-game win streak. Their last defeat on January 9th against Springfield. That was a non-conference game, and it came on the heels of a win over Peoria Notre Dame, maybe their arch rival in the Mid-State 6 Conference. Tough to bounce back after you win a big game and play the next night, and Mike Ellis said that this team really focused after that loss.
Yeah, well, that's a credit to Mike in order to get them ready for the next game, because very rarely do you have a situation when you have such an emotional win and you have something left. So it'll be interesting to see how they finish up.
What do you see as some of the keys to today's game, Coach?
Well, for Richwood, they're going to have to be able to deal with the 1-3-1,
right.
Which is tough. I equate Hillcrest 1-3-1 on the same level as Syracuse 2-3. You know, you're going to have to move that ball around and get good shots, because they're not going to let you just get a shot after 2 or 3 passes.
Right. Richwoods turned the ball over 18 times against Chicago Marshall yesterday. But Mike Ellis, ironically enough, said, I thought we played pretty well and those turnovers didn't really hurt us.
Yeah, well, anytime you win, you know, you'll take it and stuff.
I'm learning coach speak. I'm very slowly but surely learning coach speak. Let's take a look at the highs and lows for these teams. Scoring-wise, coming in, Hillcrest putting up 94 on Tinley Park earlier this month, and then a low of 43 against Chicago Von Steuben. Then for Peoria Richwoods, they threw up 81 on Dunlap, and that low was in that loss to Springfield of just 42 points, their last loss back in January. When you take a look at the Hawks, Coach, they come into this game 30-3 and riding high after that win yesterday over who was it that they beat yesterday? I'm having a little bit of a brain cramp. They beat Champaign Centennial yesterday and really played awfully well. That trapping defense, that's a key for them.
Yeah, I think for both teams today, it's going to be a big key to their success. That they both want to get out and run, and in that they need to kick it off with their defense.
When you face a team like Peoria Richwoods, they're kind of a 5-headed monster. There's not one guy you can key on. They have, I think, 2 or 3 guys that average in double figures, and that's kind of a luxury for Mike Ellis and a tough thing for Hillcrest. You can't key on one player, say like a Rayvonte Rice, because everybody can hurt you.
Yeah, that's true, but if I had to pick one guy that I wanted to contain, it would be Tylon Deal. That's the one guy I don't want having a big day.
He is the guy that gets things started kind of at the point guard spot. And Tony Frazier, a guy that had a double-double yesterday, really a breakout game for Richwoods.
Yeah, he absolutely played well yesterday. He kind of surprised me. I was looking for Deal, and he came out of nowhere and ended up being the star of the game.
And that's one thing for Richwoods. I mean, they've got so many weapons that can hurt you. They don't have that D1 recruit or a guy that averages 20 points a game, but they have several different players that can come through. This should be an exciting ball game. We're looking forward to it. Number 3 in the state, Hillcrest. Number 1, Richwoods. Back after this on the IHSA TV network. Hillcrest will be trying to do what their girls team couldn't 2 weeks ago, win a Class 3A state basketball title. Hillcrest knocked off defending state champion Centennial on Friday. Peoria Richwoods rides into today's championship game on the strength of 4 players scoring in double digits Friday. Richwoods is 0-2 in their previous championship matches. The Hawks and the Knights next. Peoria Richwoods looks to add to their great basketball tradition, while Country Club Hillcrest will take home their first trophy. Will their first trophy be a state championship? Hello and welcome to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. I'm Lee Hall. Thanks for joining us today on the IHSA TV network. Peoria Richwoods has taken home 4 trophies in their program history, but never a first place trophy. They are ranked number 1 ever since they beat Champaign Centennial earlier this year. They've been number 1 in the polls, but will they finish the season number 1? They take on a determined Hillcrest team who beat Centennial just yesterday. And here for the call of today's game, Bill Hitt and Kurt Pegler.
Thank you, Lee. It is state championship Saturday in Peoria, and not only will we have a new state champion for 3A boys basketball, we will have a first-time state champion in 3A boys basketball. Welcome to the Carver Arena floor. Kurt Pegler, along with former Proviso East and 2-time state champion Bill Hitt. Bill, we've got number 1 Peoria Richwoods against number 3 Country Club Hillcrest. Neither team has ever won a state championship before. Probably a little nervous in those locker rooms, huh?
Well, you know, everybody that plays for a state championship is nervous, whether you've done it before or not. But, you know, once they get out on the court, I think those nerves will go away pretty quickly.
Let's take a look at how these two teams made their way to the state championship. We'll start with Hillcrest, which beat Crete Monee and Rich South to win what was widely considered the most difficult sectional in Class 3A in the state, the Lincoln Way West sectional. Then beat Chicago Robeson in the super sectional at UIC on Tuesday before beating defending state champion Centennial in the state semifinal yesterday. Meanwhile, top-ranked Richwoods rode to Peoria. They included an overtime win over Morton and a victory over Rock Island to win the Ottawa sectional before beating Oswego, last year's state runner-up, in the super sectional at Northern Illinois University on Tuesday, and then beat Marshall in the state semifinals yesterday. We've talked up and down about some of the top players in the state. You're going to see some of them. One of them, Julius Brown, is just a junior, but he runs the show for Hillcrest.
Absolutely. Eric Gaines had a spectacular game yesterday in the semifinal, and just as spectacular play was Julius Brown. He's a 5'10 guard. He does a great job of running the offense, getting the ball in the hands of the scorers, and he's a tenacious defender.
Eric Gaines is an all-stater for Hillcrest. Tylon Deal is an all-stater for Richwoods. But the Knights have some good running mates with Tylon Deal, including Tony Frazier.
You know, Tony Frazier has played some great games for Richwoods in the last 2 years, but I don't think he's played any game any better than yesterday. He was absolutely spectacular on both ends of the floor, and how I describe him, he's fearless.
Let's talk about the keys to the game for the Hillcrest Hawks. What are their keys here, Bill?
Well, the first thing that they have to do is keep the motor running. Brown and Gaines have to get out there and get everybody active on their team. They have to make smart decisions with the ball. Sometimes they can be careless. They have to just take care of the paint as well.
Meanwhile, for Richwoods, the top-ranked Knights, what would be their keys to the game here today?
Well, for the Knights, they have to get to the boards. They give up inches in every game they play. They have to be good with the board. They have to attack the trap and make sure that they share the ball, get good looks for everybody against that pressure Hillcrest defense.
The stage is set for the state championship game. Let's meet the players. For that, here's public address announcer Paul Herzog.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. This 3A title game for 2010 features the Country Club Hillcrest Hawks, a record of 30-3, and the Peoria Richwoods Knights, a record of 30-2. At this time, please stand as the Pimatui Division of the United States Sea Cadets Corps presents the colors. This youth group instills leadership, patriotism, teamwork, and education in a drug-free, gang-free environment with the assistance of the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard. And now to honor America, please remove your caps and pause for a moment of silence to remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us here and around the world, away from their families, protecting our freedom. Thank you as we thank them. Now please address the flag with your hand over your heart as Tommy Schaefer, a senior at Petersburg Porta High School, sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now let's meet the starting lineups for this championship game for 3A Boys 2010. At a forward, Country Club Hills Hillcrest, a 6'6" senior, 30, Darren Tillman. At a forward, Peoria Richwoods, a 6'3" senior, 24, Tony Frazier. At a forward for the Hawks, a 6'2" senior, 34, Herbert Offord. At a forward for the Knights, a 6'4" senior, 40, TJ Cole. At center for Hillcrest, a 6'6" junior, 54, Kadeem Thornton. One of 3 guards for Richwoods, a 6'2" senior, 10, Tylen Deal. At a guard for Hillcrest, a 5'10" junior, 20, Julius Brown. At a guard for Richwoods, a 6'1" senior, 15, Aaron Davis. At a guard for the Hawks, a 6'5" senior, 24, Eric Gaines. At a guard for the Knights, a 6'2" senior, 32, Mason Allwood. Head coach for Hillcrest, 3 years there, a record of 70-21, Don Houston. 7 years a head coach at Richwoods, a record of 155-54, Mike Ellis. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA Board of Directors and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from the athletes, the coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. This is America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee from Champaign, Keith Johnson. From Champaign, Edgar Brummett. And from Homeward, Gerald Morrow. Presenting the game ball for this game will be Jim Stoll, board member of the Children's Hospital of Illinois, one of the title sponsors for this event. Thanks to Children's Hospital and their great contributions to the greatest high school single event in the land.
All right, let's take a look at those starting fives for the state championship game. 3 seniors and 2 juniors in the Hillcrest starting lineup. Julius Brown, a junior, Kadeem Thornton, a junior. The others are seniors, including the All-Stater Eric Gaines. Richwoods with 5 starters, including 5 seniors in the starting 5, including Tylon Deal, a first-team All-Stater, Davis, Alwyn, Frazier, TJ Cole. Richwoods will wear their home white uniforms with green trim, green numberings. Richwoods written across the front. Hillcrest will be in the dark blue jerseys with blue trim, blue numbers, blue lettering across the front, which says Hillcrest from Country Club Hills. And we are underway in the Class 3A Boys Basketball State Championship. Richwoods against Hillcrest, game on here in Peoria.
We see Hillcrest come out right away with a half-court trap, working really hard to keep the ball on one side of the court.
Here's the shooter, Mason Allwyn. His 3 is no good. Fought for, loose ball controlled by Gaines. So Hillcrest gets a stop on the first possession.
Yeah, Eric Gaines was just really spectacular yesterday. Gets the first rebound loose ball of this game.
This is Thornton out top.
You know, Richwoods gives up not a lot of inches, but inches at almost every position. They have to do a great job of getting their body on the Hillcrest players. Hillcrest is really aggressive going to the offensive boards.
Fadeaway jumper from the baseline is in for Julius Brown, who averages 13 points a game.
Now they're extending their defense a little bit.
Hillcrest with that 1-3-1 trap, a very difficult trap for high school teams really to try to duplicate in practice. Teams just don't see this. This is difficult, and a turnover, Aaron Davis.
You know, he picked up his dribble just on the other side of the center line in the corner. It's one of the worst places to pick it up. And again, Hillcrest, one of the things that makes their trap so effective is that they show it in different spots on the court. Just when you think you got it figured out, they're going to trap you somewhere else. It's very difficult for experienced players, and especially when you're playing in a game, you know, for all the marbles.
5th trip to state for Hillcrest, looking for their first ever trophy. Twice they were beaten in the super sectionals, twice they were beaten in the state quarterfinals.
On that last rebound, 5 white shirts were in the paint around the basket rebounding.
Tylon Deal hangs, fires, can't get an offensive rebound. Cole, that won't go. Knights crashing the glass. Ball is out of bounds. It's going to be Richwoods. The Knights' state history includes 4 state trophies since 1975, runner-up in 1992, runner-up in 2006. That 2006 runner-up finish was a game that was a 31-29 loss in overtime to a Derrick Rose Simeon. Here's Deal again, kick out. Alwyn again left open. His 3 is in this time.
You know, what a great pass by Deal on that. He came in, he could have put that ball up. I thought he was going to. Knew where his shooter was and got him the ball, and a great pass into his hands.
Nice seal that time. Darren Tillman was freed up and he scored. Got his defender on his hip. Here's Frazier, he turned it over. So the Knights have turned it over twice here.
You know, we saw in the semifinal, in the 3rd place game, both teams at the start of the quarter, start of the game, a little bit nervous, a couple quick turnovers, then they settled down. We'll see the same from these 2 teams.
This is Thornton guarded by Cole. Now it's Gaines, the All-Stater, guarded by Tony Frazier. What a matchup that's going to be. We'll keep our eyes on it all afternoon. Man-to-man defense for the Knights. Offord penetrates and scores.
Really nice patience running their offense there. Do a good job of spreading the court.
Hillcrest is 3 of its first 4 from the field, and now a steal. 3rd turnover for Richwoods. This is Gaines attacking and getting fouled. Foul against Tylon Deal.
Gaines that just took the ball away at the top of the circle there, went down and challenged Deal to guard him.
Gaines, a first-team All-Stater, a Kent State basketball recruit. Play his college basketball in the MAC next year.
You know, he struggled yesterday at the free throw line, and I'm watching him right now going up there. He's just not confident.
Yeah, he was 3 of 10 from the foul line yesterday. Nonetheless, he still had a 17.7 rebound effort against defending state champion Champaign Centennial. We're just underway. Good start for Hillcrest, which leads Richwoods 7-3. Back with more from Peoria after these messages on the IHSA television network.
Well, the girls set the tone for us. They came out and they had a real good season. And once they got downstate, it inspired our kids to do everything that they needed to do to get downstate. So it was a real good year for Hillcrest. It also went back to our track team winning state last year and our football team having a real good year. So it's been a real good buzz around Hillcrest.
Both schools having terrific athletic seasons. Yeah, Hillcrest's girls finished state runner-up. The boys trying to get the big trophy here today. What a winter it's been following the spring state championship for the boys track and field team for the Hawks. Nice pass from Mason Alwyn into TJ Cole, and Cole scores his first points for the Richwoods Knights.
Just really good patience with the ball. They brought the ball into the trap on the right side, rotated it all the way to the corner on the left side. Nice entry pass.
And now a steal. Nice overplay by Tylon Deal as he picked the pocket of Eric Gaines. Deal's first points. We're even at 7. Dangerous pass. Gaines with a nice feed down low, and scoring in traffic is Tillman. Good start to the game for Darren Tillman. 4 points. Again, Alwyn. He's going to try a 3 from in front of the Hillcrest bench. Miss it. Tipped out and controlled by Thornton.
You know, the last 2 possessions, they got the looks they wanted. They got the ball in the paint on the last one, got it into their shooter's hand from his spots on the second one.
Pull-up jumper is missed by Brown. Long rebound is controlled by Thornton. So another offensive look now for the Hawks. Both these teams, Bill, 30 victory teams. 30-3 Hillcrest, 30-2 Richwoods. That's getting it done.
Well, they've been good all year, both teams. That's exactly what that says.
And we talk about how long the basketball season is. It starts in November. Sometimes you've got players that are playing multiple sports. Your football team might be taking some of your basketball team away, and then you've got holiday tournaments around Christmas time. You're playing at all hours of the day. Yeah, to get 30 wins is a real milestone. In fact, the 30 wins for Richwoods this year ties the school record. 2 other Richwoods teams also got the 30 wins. 74 team and the 1980 squad.
You know, as a coach, you usually feel pretty good when you get 20 wins.
Yeah. We approach the 2.5-minute mark left in this opening half of the state championship game. Class 3A boys title game here at Carver Arena in Peoria. Kurt Pegler alongside Bill Hitt, the former Proviso East head coach. Our sideline reporters, Lee Hall, our IHSA Television Network crew. And now a steal for Cole.
Run a little set play where they try to back screen and go over, and Richwoods had it scouted very well.
Here's Frazier, steps to the double team, and he's fouled. You gotta be patient against this 1-3-1 zone, don't you?
Well, you do, and Eric Gaines at the top of their trap. Oftentimes, coaches will put a littler guy up there because they're quicker. He is so quick and so long that he makes it extremely difficult for you to rotate the ball, and against the trap, that's one of the ways you have to beat it.
Will Jenkins, a junior forward in the game for the Knights now. He replaces T.J. Cole. Aaron Davis the miss, but he got a long rebound. And he was stripped. Quick hands from Brown. He's going to beat everybody down the floor and lay it in. 4 points now for Brown, which matches the Hillcrest lead. Ball, we've got a foul against Hillcrest.
You know, a couple of their turnovers, that last one in particular was, don't dribble the ball unless you're going somewhere with it. And he just, rather than pick it up, he tried to adjust his dribble, and against a team that is so quick and has such great hands like Hillcrest does, you're going to turn the ball over.
Aaron Davis is out. Freshman guard Preston Wells in now for the Knights. We're seeing Jeremiah Horn enter the game for the first time for Hillcrest. He has really given his team a lift off the bench in the state tournament.
You know, he's one of the guys they look for some outside scoring. He's also just a really hard-nosed defender.
And now another steal. Gains the finish. And timeout Richwoods. So the Hillcrest 1-3-1 zone causing the Knights some headaches, and Hillcrest has run out to a 6-point lead.
You know, again, looking at Gaines coming off after that steal with the dunk, but that was set up by him attacking the ball at the top. They were trying to rotate it, which is how they set their offense against the trap, and he just got great hands. I saw Hillcrest play in the super sectional, and they're so good with their hands. They make it very difficult.
How about our trivia question brought to you by the National Association of Realtors? Chicago Peyton's Nick Scholnick scored 51 points on the 4th of February in a game against Chicago Kelly, setting a state record for most points scored in a single quarter. How many points did he have in his biggest quarter? 40, 38, or 37? We'll have that answer for you in just a minute. Well, that's a good week for some teams. Minute 33 to go here in this first quarter of the Class 3A Boys Basketball State Championship game. Hillcrest and Richwoods, both teams vying for their school's first ever boys basketball state titles. Both teams have had success in girls basketball in recent days and weeks. The Hillcrest girls finished state runner-up a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago today. The Richwoods girls won the state championship in Class 3A a year ago this month.
Well, Hillcrest found something that they like. They like that half-court spot.
Let's answer that trivia question for you. How many points did Chicago Peyton's Nick Skolnick score in a quarter? How about 38 points in the fourth quarter of an 86-72 loss? Thanks to the folks at the National Association of Realtors for sponsoring our trivia question today. This is Davis. Now Frazier. Nice trying to be patient against this zone pressure. Working the baseline is Deal. Stepped through the defender and scored off the glass.
Just a nice aggressive drive, but his body was under control.
4 points for Tylon Deal now. A minute to go in this opening quarter, and a foul on Davis at the perimeter against Richwoods.
You know, at this level, Kurt, you're looking at a point guard and you're saying, you know, I'm going to give him a little bit of his left hand because, you know, he's so quick with the ball. Julius Brown will beat you with his left hand or his right hand. He's got to play his nose on the ball and not give him lanes to the basket.
Brown quick to the basket, and he laid it off for Nick Oden, who laid it in. Oh, dangerous pass. Davis comes away with it. Had a shot altered. Tony Frazier there to catch and score. Good hands for Frazier. Final half minute now of this first quarter. Gaines chase from behind. Gets it to the cutter. The shot was missed though. Horn was working baseline, but we've got a traveling violation against Hillcrest. And now TJ Cole's going to re-enter for the Knights.
You know, both teams right there, just really aggressive going to the glass. You got to get a body on both teams are going to have to do a better job of boxing out, or they're going to give up a lot of second shot attempts.
The Knights will try and hold for the final shot here. Deal lost the dribble. Now it's Frazier. He's going to fire up a three. Rimmed out, tipped, no good. Hillcrest controls. That's the end of the quarter. Hillcrest 15, Richwoods 11. End of the first quarter of the state championship game in Class 3A. Back with more from Peoria after these messages and a word from your local stations.
Back at Carver Arena, 15-11 is Country Club Hills Hillcrest with the lead. And the winner of the Ricky Nelson Award this weekend, the traveling man, is Wayne McGee, 82 graduate of Hillcrest, all the way from London for these games. That's wild. What are you doing coming back from London?
Well, it's the first time Hillcrest has been in a final, so I think I had to be here.
You've been all over the world, Africa, London, in the jewelry business. What is it about this team that makes it so special?
Well, they've got a great program at Hillcrest. They've gone 22 consecutive seasons as conference champs. Never been in the Final Four. It had to happen, and it did this year.
You guys were pretty good back in the day.
We won. We were the second Hillcrest team to win a conference championships. We were 19-7, I believe, and yeah. You could say we started the show, maybe.
All right, we'll let you get back to your seat and enjoy the game. Wayne McGee, all the way from London, guys. I don't think they get the IHSA TV network over there. We got to do something about that.
All right. Now that's why they call it America's original March Madness. It excites people from all over the country, all over the world. Let's take a look at our first quarter stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Hillcrest scoring in the paint, scoring with efficiency, aren't they, Bill?
Well, you know, they got 12 of their first 15 points in the paint and 63%, very high percentage shots up until the last one by Julius Brown that we just saw there. You know, they've been able to get to the glass.
And now a steal again, Hillcrest, but it's Mason Allman who comes back with it for the Knights, who have numbers. He's going to take it all the way to the rack and lay it in.
Great play.
The Knights are within two now.
You know, Hillcrest spreading the floor now, looking to dribble, drive, penetrate, do some backdoor cuts.
Julius Brown, a three. Missed it. Rebound controlled by T.J. Cole.
Coach Houston had something to say to Julius on that shot.
Yeah, usually if the coach says something on your way back down the floor, he's not too happy. This is Aaron Davis, three from the corner. Tipped out of bounds off of Tony Frazier. It'll go to Hillcrest.
You know, three-point shots, and we've seen some here, are, you know, can be just daggers, and other ones can be a self-inflicted wound. So you have to use them. They have to come in the context of your offense. Julius Brown's last shot did not.
The Knights are 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, and the Hawks are 0 of 2. Mason Alwyn, the only player on the floor right now that has a three-point make. This is Brown around a screen. He slipped it in. Nicely done. Terrific assist. Herb Offord finished. Boy, Brown is a smart player out there.
Well, that's his strength. You know, he gets to the paint and doesn't try to force the shot. He looks for a teammate. He's got 2 or 3 assists already.
Very unselfish player. Deal in traffic is fouled.
You know, again, one of the things you do against a trap is try to split the defenders, and look at how he did that. A great job. Right call on a pass off. Drew contact.
Third team foul against Hillcrest, and now it's Will Jenkins who's checked in the game. A catch and shoot. He's in the scorebook. This is Gaines around the screen from Offord, who handed him the ball. Cleared by Jenkins. Now it's Deal. Knights have numbers if they want it. Deal penetrates and drew contact, and there's going to be a foul against Hillcrest. That's going to go against Kadeem Thornton.
You know, Tylen Deal did a great job of there, realizing he had a bigger man that he could beat off the dribble, and he just kept pushing the ball up the court.
And so Tylen Deal to the free throw line, where he was 4 of 5 yesterday in a 12.5 assist effort in the semifinal victory over Chicago Marshall. Nate Desjardins now checks in for Richwoods. Hillcrest brings Jeremiah Horn back in the game, and Nick Oden. Tony Frazier's also coming back in for Richwoods. He'll send Aaron Davis back to the bench. Deal, a 6-foot, 185-pound warrior for the Knights. His head coach calls him a flat-out warrior. Missed both free throws. T.J. Cole gets the rebound and laid it in, so the Knights still get 2 points out of the Deal. And we're even at 17. This is Tillman. Now Gaines, guarded by Frazier. Man-to-man defense for the Knights. Jumper from the perimeter, Jeremiah Horn. He can do that. Good shooter from 15 feet. Deal. Gives it up. This is going to be Jenkins again, and he knocks it down a three. Will Jenkins is not necessarily a three-point shooter, just his 17th three-pointer of the year.
But I'm feeling it, Coach. I'm feeling it.
And the Knights in front by a point. Under 4.5 to go here in this first half. This is Oden, penetrates on Cole, attacks from the right, lost the ball, got it back, pump fake, he may have traveled, he did. We got a timeout on the floor. The Knights of Richwoods in front by a point. Back with more in the 3A boys basketball state title game after these messages and a word from our local stations.
It's a great team to coach. You know, each night, night in and night out, it's a different player that steps up. You know, they're family oriented. They want to win for each other. They've got great values. I like the flexibility in this group where different guys can step up each night, and they're looking forward to representing this weekend.
No Division I recruits on this Richwoods roster for Mike Ellis. He mentioned the term family when his team breaks a huddle. They yell 1, 2, 3 family. Lee Hall, what do you have for us?
Kurt, just listening into the Richwoods huddle, not surprising to hear Mike Ellis say, you guys are worrying about the wrong end. We got to get stops on defense. Hillcrest doesn't get to 25 by halftime. That's going to be quite a chore for them, but not surprising to hear Mike Ellis preaching defense in this ball game.
The Knights have hung their hat on defense all year long. They'd rather win a game in the 50s than in the 60s or the 70s, that's for sure. That's more their style, their pace. This is Horn. Backdoor cut, but a shot is blocked. The Knights recovered nicely.
Peoria Richwoods does such a great job of help side defense, and here you can see Mason Elwan come from the backside to block and save us a layup.
And now it's Gaines off the inbound. Tough shot. That one's blocked again. Allman came over on the weak side again.
Just another great job of knowing where the ball is, knowing where you belong relative to your man in the ball.
Allman last year was known just as a spot-up shooter. He worked very hard on his defense this year, very hard on dribble penetration, and has really been a complete player. His defense is completely revamped from what it was a year ago. Here's Brown from the outside, no good. Offensive rebound offered. Ball is out of bounds. Hillcrest maintains possession. Tylan Deal's going to get to the scores table and get in. He'll replace Desjardins. TJ Cole's going to try to get in the game as well. And he will. Let's see who he sends Will Jenkins back to the Richwoods bench.
You know, Coach Ellis doesn't play a lot of kids, but he makes sure that his starters have rest. Always, and I like how he balances it. If he puts a sub in, he'll make sure the other four are guys that are real comfortable with their position.
Brown penetrate, beat his defender off the dribble. 6 points now for Julius Brown, the superb junior, and it's going to be a carry call against Tylan Deal. So that's turnover number 6 against Richwoods. Don Houston in his 3rd year at Hillcrest, 70 wins, 21 losses, played his high school basketball at De La Salle. Very familiar with the wars of Chicago basketball. Offord slips it down, nicely done, Nick Oden to finish. Post players for Hillcrest have come to play today, and now a near steal. Frazier gets it back. Offord and Tillman have played very well, as has Oden in this first half. There's Aaron Davis. He's being guarded by Brown. Now it's Deal, double teamed on a trap, slides through the defense, and he's fouled.
You know, he did absolutely what every coach attempts to teach. When the trap is too tight, you step through with a leg, protect the ball, and go right through, make them foul you, or get a lane to the basket.
LeBaron Hull, a 6'4", 175-pound junior, now checks in for Hillcrest. Under 2.5 to go here in this opening half of the 3A title game. Frazier left in the paint. He's hacked.
You watch Richwoods on this, they just get the ball inside against the trap, and Frazier goes very hard. You know, Hillcrest, if you're going to foul them, they did the right thing. That ball was not going in the basket.
Frazier has been the defensive stopper for the Knights this year. We chronicled it yesterday. He's guarded the likes of Mount Carmel's Tracy Abrams, Centennial's Ravante Rice, Rock Island's Chason Randall, Manuel's Lawrence Alexander, and Marshall's Vincent Garrett. It's a who's who of prep basketball that he's been assigned to this year. Not too shabby on the offensive end either. There's a rejection from Frazier. Ball is loose. Gaines comes away with it. Just muscled that shot up. That wouldn't go. Ball is still loose. Aaron Davis comes away with it. 2-on-1. He's got Deal on the left. He attacks from the left. Can't finish, though. Now it's Brown back in transition. He leaves for Gaines, who comes in, floats it off the glass and in. The Hawks score on the odd man break there. Five points now for Gaines. 90 seconds to go here in the opening half. Davis tried to snap a pass in traffic. Ball is out of bounds. It's going to go to Hillcrest. Will Jenkins is going to re-enter.
Kurt, this last minute and 20 seconds is really important for both teams. It's in such a close game like this. The last thing that you want to have happen before you go in is let the other team go on a run. Hillcrest got a little bit of a good thing going after that transition layup. Let's see what they try to do with the ball in this possession.
Hillcrest shooting 50% from the field, hitting 12 of its first 24 shots as we approach the 1 minute mark left in this first half. This is offered with it. Now Brown. Will Hillcrest hold for a final shot?
I think they might now. I wasn't sure with a minute 20 if they were going to just look to see if they could get something cheap off of one of their delays.
Well, Brown penetrated and kicked out to the open man, and Nick Oden made the Knights pay for leaving him open. And now Gaines, with his long arms, gets a steal on Davis. He works on him, and a three-point opportunity now for Gaines.
Eric Gaines is just such a weapon. After he picks the pocket, he goes strong, gets fouled, gets the ball up on the glass.
What a sequence for Hillcrest. We thought they might hold for one. They get an open jumper from the perimeter, a steal, and a made three-point play now for Gaines. 8 points now for Gaines, and suddenly Hillcrest's lead is 9 points. And now it's the Knights looking for a final opportunity here. Deal with 4 on the clock. He fires up a three that's no good. And now it's Mason Alwyn with a rainbow three at the horn, and that's no good. And the Hillcrest Hawks, with a 31-point opening half and a big surge in the final 30 seconds, will have a 9-point halftime lead. And our Lee Hall is standing by with Don Houston.
All right, Coach, boy, it looked like you had about 6 or 7 defenders out there. Your defense was awesome first half.
Yeah, we told the guys before the game, you know, this is the last one. You got to play 32 minutes as hard as you possibly can. If you can't leave it out here for the next 32 minutes, you're not a basketball player. And they promised me that they were going to do it.
Offensively, you're getting great looks, a lot of layups. 20 of the 20. Well, at the one point, it was 20 of 25 in the lane.
Yeah, we told them to go to the basket, take high percentage shots. Why not? You know, we can knock the three-point shot down, but we didn't have all our three-point shooters out there at one time, so we just said go to the basket, see what we can get out of it.
Good luck second half, Don. All right, Kurt, back over to you.
31-22. Hillcrest leads Richwoods at the half of the Class 3A Boys Basketball State Championship game. Back with more from Carver Arena after you hear from our network sponsors.
Lee Hall, Anthony Longstreet, formerly of Chicago Crane, back here courtside as it's 8-point lead, 9-point lead for Country Club Hills Hillcrest over Peoria Richwoods. And we go to our stats brought to us by Menards. Save big money at Menards. You're going to see a pretty good shooting percentage for Hillcrest. They got a lot of good looks, Coach.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job in running their half-court set. But even bigger than that, they're forcing turnovers off their 1-3-1, which was one of the keys for the game for Richwood.
Points in the paint, there is a look at it. 22-12, Hillcrest getting the looks inside of the points off turnovers. Defensively, they're creating a lot of opportunities with that half-court trap. Gaines with 8, Oden with 7. For Richwoods, it's Mason Alwyn with 5, and Jenkins with 5 off the bench for the Knights. What can the Knights do to combat that pressure? It looks, you know, a lot of times coaches will run 6 guys out there at practice, you know, to try and simulate a team's pressure. And that's just what Hillcrest looks like to me. Looks like they've got 6, maybe 7 guys out there defensively.
Yeah, they're doing a great job in executing the 1-3-1. Again, I think Richwood is going to have to do a better job in moving the ball before they get trapped, because with Gaines out there on the top, he's long and lengthy, and he's the reason they're turning the ball over like that.
Yeah, he is tough to combat, and it's a Hillcrest lead here at the break, 31-22. We're back after this local message.
Hillcrest, the halftime lead over Richwoods, 31-22 in this Class 3A Boys Basketball State Championship game here at Carver Arena. Kurt Pegler along with former Proviso East head coach Bill Hitt. Let's take a look at some of the plays that shaped the opening 16 minutes of action in this championship game.
You know, we see right away Julius Brown going in, attacking, hitting a nice little jump shot off a drive. He's been effective all day. Now we see a kick out to Mason Alwyn. Hit their only three, was a big shot at the time. Now we see just a breakout from Eric Gaines on the dunk. Nice steal by Tylon Deal. Goes down for an easy basket. And that's the second three-point shot they had from Will Jenkins in the corner. Nice transition basket. Just like Coach Longstreet said, there's been a lot of nice transitions. And then that was a big basket at the end of the half from Oden.
No doubt about that. Right now, 8 points of Eric Gaines leads the way for Hillcrest. Two Richwoods players have 5 points apiece. Mason Alwyn and Will Jenkins, again, the only 2 players to hit 3-point shots. 31-22. The Hillcrest lead over Richwoods. Back with more from Carver Arena after you hear from our network sponsors. Time now to identify our Subway sub player of the first half. He's the junior, Will Jenkins for Richwoods. 5 points off the Richwoods bench, knocked down a big 3, 2 rebounds and a block. Will Jenkins, the Subway sub of the game. Brought to you by Subway. Get any regular footlong at $5 at Subway. Eat fresh. Hillcrest leads Richwoods 31-22, halftime in the state championship game here. I'm sure there was a lot of chewing out going on in the Knights locker room and a lot of pats on the back going on in the Hillcrest locker room.
You know, I don't know about the pats on the back in the Hillcrest, but I know there was a serious conversation in the Ridgewood's locker room. 22 points in the paint, as Coach Longstreet said at halftime, and 15 points off of turnovers. If Richwoods is going to have a chance in this game in the second half, they have to do better with the basketball, and they have to do better on the boards. Those were 2 keys that we talked about before the game that they have to improve in, or they're not going to have a chance to win this ball game.
Well, Richwoods starts the second half with a basketball, chasing Hillcrest by 9 points, 31-22 as we open up third quarter play here, the Class 3A Boys Basketball State title game. Here's Alwyn. He opened the game with a 3, missed his first shot of the third quarter. Tylon Deal, the offensive rebound, and stick back for the Knights.
Well, that 3-point basket would have been huge, but the putback was just about as good. They feel like there's a monkey on their back right now. See a little more defensive intensity from Richwood.
Julius Brown turns it over.
That was just a great effort from Tylon Deal to not let the dribbler go where he wanted to with the ball.
Well, coaches often talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half of a college game. Certainly the opening minutes of the third quarter of a high school game are very critical. TJ Cole missed the shot. Offensive rebound. He got it back and he sticks it up, and that won't go. Offensive rebound by Davis, and he's fouled. Aaron Davis crashing the glass, and Darren Tillman hacked him.
Richwoods has gotten to this game because of their effort on the boards as a team. We saw 2 or 3 different guys rebound on that sequence, and Davis did a nice job. He had a little rough half handling the ball. It's good to see him come out. He's attacked the rim twice now, once with a kickout and once with a shot that was able to end up with some free throws out of.
Aaron Davis is an incredible story. Last April, he dropped his mother off at work, drove home to find an intruder at home who fired 3 bullets at him, hit him in the arm, in the abdomen, in the thigh, and left him for dead. But he was able to rehab, come back. He made an appearance in the summer league for Richwoods and was there for the first day of practice in the fall, and finds himself in a state championship game when 11 months ago it wasn't sure whether or not he'd even live.
It's kind of amazing.
And now after the turnover by Hillcrest, the Knights have an opportunity to score again here. Davis lost it that time. Well, you've mentioned it before all weekend long. Sometimes teams play a little too fast. The Knights were playing a little too fast there.
Well, Hillcrest will make you play too fast. They do a really, really good job of trapping the ball. And
now a timeout called by Hillcrest. Gaines was caught in the corner there. He had 2 defenders on him, and he was also pinned in by the sideline.
You know, he didn't expect that double team coming from behind.
We remind you that Apple's Bakery in Peoria serves breakfast and lunch and also dessert. You have to taste those desserts to believe them. Smiles are made from scratch. Go to applesbakery.com. Well, right now, it looks like early on, Richwoods has a little bit of that momentum coming out of the locker room.
Well, Richwoods really needed a good start, and I'm not going to say 2 baskets is a great start, but it got them back where they feel like that they can compete. I think, you know, you go in, they gave up 6 points in the last 35 seconds. You're shaking your head wondering, you know, do we belong here, or is it just meant to be that the ball's not going to go in the basket when we need it to? But I think that rebound basket, making the 2 free throws, really got them set mentally where they feel like they can compete now.
And the defensive intensity is what's been turned up, and Hillcrest has had 3 possessions now. 1 was a turnover, 1 was a ball thrown away for a second turnover, and the next one they had to call timeout once they crossed the timeline. So now we'll see how the Hawks run their offense. Again, neither team has ever won a state basketball championship in boys hoops. And one of them is going to be a first-time state champion here in about an hour.
Spread the court now.
This is Brown, penetrates. Ball was intended for Tillman, but tipped out of bounds by the Knights.
You know, they put Deal now on Julius Brown, and he got a little step to the basket on Deal.
And Brown did a nice job of saving that one. Julius Brown, 5'10", 160, in the heart of this team as a junior. Nice move on the baseline gains. The Hawks really needed something, and they got it.
And again, that Brown, you know, just creates so many opportunities for his teammates.
TJ Cole left open. His 3 is off the mark and out of bounds. It'll go back to Hillcrest.
You know, sometimes a shooter will aim it. That's what TJ did on that. You know, he was so wide open that he didn't want to miss it and just short-armed it.
Richwoods kind of showing some token 3/4 court pressure at least. They'll pretty much sit in that man-to-man defense, you would imagine. This is Brown working on Deal. Lost the dribble. Got a pass down low. Shot was missed, and it's going to be Davis getting fouled on the rebound. The shot was missed, and the foul was committed by the same player, Tillman.
You know, when you spread the court the way they do, sometimes you just don't have rebounding opportunities, and that was what happened on that right there. Ball came underneath, little bump, rebound to Davis.
Tillman's 2nd foul and the 2nd team foul against Hillcrest here in this second half. Just underway, 3rd quarter. Hillcrest with a 7-point lead over Richwoods in the state championship game. Nice pass down to Frazier.
Like, that was a new look offensively for Richwoods. They went up and set a high screen on that top of that 1-3-1 on Gaines. Davis was able to turn the corner and find someone slipping on the backside. Very nice.
Well, Mason Allman almost came away with a steal. Now cutting down the lane and drawing contact, but it's going to be an offensive foul. Herb Offord cut to the basket, but he's called for the charge.
You know, midway through the 2nd quarter, Coach Ellis said, who's going to take a charge? Did a nice job.
And I'm sorry, now they've said that is a blocking call. My mistake on that play, so count the basket,
you know,
and offer to the free throw line.
Kurt, I saw the same thing. I saw one of the officials signal a charge.
Ball is on the floor after the missed shot, and Richwoods comes away with it. Tylon Deal all the way down. Ball is off of Deal and out of bounds off his knee.
You know, that's the case like we were talking about before, just going a little bit faster than he needed to. Great call by the official. Clearly went off his knee, rolled out of bounds.
So the Hawks now with a 7-point lead. Bring the ball up the floor. Both these teams now settling in here in the 3rd quarter. Brown penetrates, flipped it up over Cole and scored. Tough shot. Here's Davis in traffic, hangs and fires off the glass and scores. Brown penetrates. He's going to try to answer. Cole clears. Now it's Deal. He's got Davis on his right. He feeds Davis back to Deal. Pump fake. Hangs, fires, and he's going to get to the free throw line.
Look there, just a nice little bounce pass down the Gaines. Probably held it a little bit too long. Should have got it up a little bit quicker. Then stayed tough on the rebound.
So Deal to the free throw line. Both teams sending substitutions to the scorer's table. Will Jenkins will come in for Richwoods. Jeremiah Horn will come in for Hillcrest. And should Deal make this free throw, looks like Nate Desjardins will replace him. That's the case. Timeout on the floor, 4:29 to go, third quarter. Hillcrest leads Richwoods by 5 in the championship game. Back after these messages and a word from your local stations.
All right, Peoria Richwoods trailing here by 5, and we are with Fighting Illini big man Bill Cole, the older brother, literally the big brother of TJ Cole. Of course, your sister Stephanie won a state title. You were on the team when they finished second a few years back in '06. Tell me about the basketball games on the driveway at home, and then with Dad, Terry Cole.
Man, they were rough, ultra competitive. We always had, we had some 2-on-2 games with me, my sister, and my dad, and TJ. So we always had some good games going on, and playing against Steph, she was tough to beat because she would scratch and claw. And then TJ got a little older, and he was just as tough to beat. He could shoot it a little bit. So
tell me what makes him such a good player. What kind of advice do you try and pass on to him?
He does everything. He does the little things. He can shoot it. He really hustles his butt off. He works hard at it, and I'm so proud of him.
You come on strong this year. Good luck Monday in the NIT.
Thank you. I appreciate
All right,
it.
that's Bill Cole, the Fighting Illini. His dad played football at Illinois, and TJ learned a little bit about toughness from Dad. He's been playing on a bad knee. He got that thing drained a couple of weeks ago, guys.
Nick Oden scoring there for Hillcrest. Yeah, what a family legacy. All of those Coles have played in the state tournament. How about that? Terry, the father, played in the state tournament. Stephanie played in the state tournament, won a state championship. Bill played in the state tournament, finished runner-up, and here's TJ now in the state championship game, and that's him scoring.
Did a nice job after he got a little bump there, kept his balance, and just willed that ball in.
6 points for TJ Cole, 5-point Hillcrest lead. Hawks with the basketball. This is Gaines. 3.5 minutes to go here, third quarter. Offered. Now Oden. Post players for Hillcrest have played very well here. Horn left open. 3 from the wing. Front of the rim, no good. Tipped up. Still loose. Somehow Mason Allman comes out of it for the Knights. Now he attacks from the right and scores on a 3-point opportunity.
Just a great individual effort on the part of Mason Allman on that. You see him just almost lose his balance on the drive, then go strong. Defender takes his hand. He saw the ball go all the way through the basket.
Coast to coast, Mason Allman. Defensive rebound, offensive layup, and makes good on the foul shot for the 3-point play. Allman with 8. Richwoods, once down by 9, is within 2. Brown calls timeout. He was in a world of trouble there.
Great job defensively. Once he picked up his dribble, Richwoods recognized that, took all the next passes away from him.
Well, again, the momentum now is swung into the corner of the Richwoods Knights, who've turned it up defensively.
It feels like it's changed about 7 times already. It's probably going to change 7 more times. But both teams have not stopped doing what they do. You have Peoria Richwoods with their man-to-man, and you have that half-court trapping Hillcrest.
Earlier today, Chicago Marshall, the Commandos, beat Champaign Centennial, the defending state champs, 73-59 to take home the third-place trophy in the consolation game. Hillcrest and Richwoods playing for their school's first ever boys state title. Look inside that Hillcrest Hawks huddle with Don Houston in his 3rd year as head coach. What's he trying to do? Probably get his team to calm down a little bit, huh?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, they're starting to give up some lanes to the basket on their trap. Part of that is Peoria just being a little bit more calm with the ball. It won't shock me right now if Hillcrest comes out and shows just a little different wrinkle on their 1-3-1. You know, they've been playing it up to the center line, and it looks a little bit like Peoria's figured that out. So I think they might give it a little different look. Maybe crunch it a little bit more, maybe extend it.
Eric Gaines, the only player in double figures right now, the all-state player for Hillcrest with 10 points. And Richwoods has a pair of players with 8, Tylon Deal and Mason Alwyn, and again have closed the deficit from 9 down to 2. This is Brown. Now it's offered. Loose ball, and the Knights come away with it with a chance to tie. There's Frazier on the nice feed from Deal. But Julius Brown is ahead of the pack, and Deal comes back, closing the gap, and fouled him. Going to make him earn it from the foul line.
You know, that's probably a good decision on his part. You see him just catch up to the ball. Got it, you know. He made a decision. He was not going to let him go to the glass on that. I thought they probably rushed it coming down. I thought Tylon Deal could have been a little bit more selective on what he tried to do after he got the ball up the court. You know, sometimes you're out of position. You don't have that person who plays back on defense, and you're susceptible to that breakout that we just saw.
Brown is certainly going to be a key player here in the second half for Hillcrest. He had a 23-point game to avoid an upset in Oak Forest, but he missed both of those free throws. And so it's still a 2-point game, and now a reach-in foul against Hillcrest. That foul is on Deshaun Wash, who's just checked in, 6'2", 176 junior.
You know, Eric Gaines has been doing a lot on both ends of the floor. He's on the bench, probably not for long. And sometimes, you know, when you're trapping, the last thing you want to do is be reaching in on the ball.
Davis, open 3. Will Jenkins the tip. That won't go. Jenkins high up to get it again. He's stripped. Offord comes away with it. Now it's Brown. 90 seconds to go here, 3rd quarter. Good stutter step, pull-up jumper. Now Davis from the left. Finds Frazier. Couldn't finish. Point-blank shot there. Wouldn't go down for Tony Frazier. Boy, great end-to-end action here. This is Horn, guarded by Desjardins. Under a minute to go here, 3rd period. And a foul, an illegal block, an illegal screen set by Hillcrest. Away from the play. They're going to say the foul is on Offord.
You know, they do a lot of screening at the elbow, and he just didn't get himself set. Kind of gave a shoulder to the defender, trying to squeeze by with the cutter.
If you're Richwoods, do you hold for 1 with 51 seconds?
You know, it's hard against this defense to hold for 1 shot. I'd say no.
Deal pump fake around a couple of defenders from the baseline, missed, got his own rebound, in traffic, foul, no, block from behind. Good block there from Julius Brown.
You know, see, they're giving you the corners in this. We see Tylon Deal just shot the ball from the corner, followed it up, blocked from behind.
Alwyn. Richwoods leads. Alwyn in double figures with 11. The Knights a 1-point advantage. Final 20 seconds, 3rd period.
Now, if I'm Hillcrest, I'll hold for the last shot on this.
Tony Frazier, the steal. Down on Brown, scooped it up and finished. 5 in a row, ripped off by the Knights. Jeremiah Horn can't get it up. It's Alwyn who gets his hands on it. 1 second to go here, third quarter. Offered to trigger. Brown's three is no good. And a huge third quarter for Richwoods. And the Knights enter the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead. Back with more from Carver Arena after you hear from our network sponsors. Take a look at our stats through 3 quarters, brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. A 20-8 third quarter advantage in scoring for Richwoods.
And I'm looking, one of the big keys right there was 27 rebounds. They did a much better job on the boards in that quarter. As a result, they were able to get some breakouts. And they pushed the ball a lot more than I thought they would do.
Richwoods had 22 points at the half and 20 points in the third quarter. Huge 8 minutes there for Mike Ellis's team.
You know, I can't honestly tell if it was a decision they made or if it was just the nature of the game, but it looked to me like they were trying to beat the trap down the court. So instead of allowing Hillcrest to go down and set up their defense, they were purposefully trying to push the ball up the court and get some looks at the basket before the defense could set.
Crowd on its feet here as we open fourth quarter play. Hillcrest with a basketball.
You know, this Frazier-Gaines matchup has been a good one the whole game.
Terrific matchup. And they're cleaning up. The air ball is Nick Oden. Maybe that was a pass.
I don't think so, but it had the same effect.
Oden's played very well. Alwyn again for 3, no good. Tip up, no good. Cleared by Offord. Now he's going to start the break. All the way down, nobody picked him up, takes it to the rack, can't get it to go. Ball is loose and out of bounds to Hillcrest. We mentioned that Richwoods outscored Hillcrest 20-8 in that third period, also out-rebounded them 15-3.
Yeah, that's huge, and again, that led to some of their transition baskets.
What an entertaining Class 3A state championship game we're witnessing. This is Brown in the paint. Dropped it off, nicely done. Give the assist to Brown and the basket to Jeremiah Horn. And Hillcrest, the first 4 points of the third quarter for the lead. Now it's Frazier. Deal. His 3 is in.
You know, one of the things Richwood's trying to do is isolate Alwyn in the corner. That's an open shot against most 1-3-1s. That ball just didn't quite find him. Deal put it up before he rotated it.
Brown tries to answer. That's no good. But an offensive rebound by Gaines. He lost the ball out of bounds. It's going to go back to Richwoods. And the officials are going to huddle here, and they might change the call. Now they're going to say the Hawks will maintain possession.
Yeah, they got that right. Davis came over and hit it out of his hand.
Don Houston really working it on the sidelines. This is Brown with Davis on him this time. Horn to Gaines in traffic. He rolled it in. He just muscled that shot in. Eric Gaines now with 12 points. And we're even at 45. Pass from Cole to Alwyn, just a little too high for Mason Alwyn.
Game of inches. That's 2 inches too high. Would have brought that down. Probably wouldn't have been able to get the shot off, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find him in the corner against that trap so he can get some looks.
Saw a good shot there of Mike Ellis in his 7th year at Richwoods. 155 and 54. Nice record. And a steal from Mason Allwyn from behind. And Mason Allwyn is blocked but fouled. Horn came over and closed the gap. He's going to make Allwyn earn him from the free throw line.
Coach Ellis won the flagrant foul on that, but I think he just went up for the ball. A lot of body, but went for the ball.
We've seen that on both ends. Tylendale did the same thing as he chased down Julius Brown earlier in the game. What a Final Four Mason Allwyn has had it on both ends of the floor.
He's played very well. Very smart player, can hit that shot, but defensively, he's really been tough.
12 points, 4 assists, and a steal against Marshall yesterday. And despite his free throw troubles there, an 11-point, 3-assist effort so far here this afternoon.
Same thing happened with Brown. Went up, missed both of his free throws. I guess there's some karma out there.
Nice pass down to
Great
Gaines.
backdoor cut. Great backdoor
pass.
cut.
Outstanding basketball. And the Hawks back in front by a deuce. Boy, a near steal that time as Horn nearly got a deflection there. Now it's Frazier working baseline. He flipped it up and couldn't finish. It's cleared by Oden.
It's a big possession for Hillcrest and Richwoods.
Nick Oden and Herb Offord have really played well for the Hawks. Oden's in double figures and scoring with 11, but they're doing it on the defensive end too with rebounds. Offord, pump fake, had a shot blocked. Good defense by TJ Cole. That was Nick Oden, I'm sorry. Timeout on the floor, 2-point Hillcrest lead, 4:38 to go for the state championship. Back after these messages. A word from your local stations. Take a look at the titles from teams in the south suburbs. 79 Providence, then about a 20-year gap there before Oaklawn Richwoods won the 4A title, and Seton Academy from South Holland won the 09 2A title. Can Hillcrest join that short list after that 20-year drought? We'll know in about 4.5 minutes.
Well, I can tell you, Kurt, they didn't stop playing basketball in the south suburbs. They just knocked on the door and couldn't get in.
Of course, the basketball history in Peoria has been rich with championships. Nice basket that time by Eric Gaines. When you talk about the Peoria Manual teams and Peoria Central teams in the last 15 years that have really brought home the hardware here in Peoria. Frazier stripped. Got it back and then called timeout. Alert play for Frazier. And he has a couple of words, it looks like, with Julius Brown as they both walk to their respective huddles. Now that's something you got to watch for Tony Frazier. He's a young man that has a short fuse. Last year he was asked to leave the team towards the end of the season. Sought some anger management counseling this year in December and has been, as Mike Ellis said, a better player since. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify them.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the exclusive entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited.
Richwoods fans out in force here trying to cheer on their Knights, who trail Hillcrest 49-45 with 4:20 to go here in this Class 3A Boys Basketball State Championship game. Lee Hall, what do you have for us?
Guys, that last huddle, Don Houston talking to his team about their half-court offense. He says if it's a risky pass, eat it and keep running the offense. He said no jump shots. I want nothing but layups. And I think that's part of why they're in front here early in the fourth quarter, Coach. They've done a better job of getting the ball back inside, which they didn't in the third quarter.
No, exactly correct. They settled a couple times on those jump shots, Lee. And right now, they're at 40 points in the paint out of a total of 49. And that, I think they can do that. I agree with Coach Houston. You want to keep running your offense and attack the paint.
That's just a huge number, 40 of your 49 points in the paint. Knights with the basketball out of the huddle. We'll see what kind of play they run here. This is Deal. Hounded by Jeremiah Horn, who's really given his team a nice lift off the bench. Now left open. Deal's going to try a three, and that's in. His second three-point make here of the fourth quarter. He's just a 28% three-point shooter, but he's picked some clutch opportunities to knock down a pair of threes here tonight.
Just a heads-up play. He faked a ball rotation and kept it.
And Brown answers with a jump shot over Tylan Deal, who was draped on him.
He might not have been listening to Coach Houston about no jump shots.
And now a dangerous pass is a near steal. Alwyn left open. His three is in, and we're tied. How big has Mason Alwyn been? 14 points. He and Deal each with 14 to lead the Knights.
That obviously was a huge basket, very clutch shot. You know, it's a one-possession game. You got to do everything right, make the play, be smart with the ball.
Tough shot by Oden. Ball is loose. Frazier comes away with it. Under 3 minutes to go. Frazier from the corner. Now it's Davis. He's guarded by Gaines as again in that 1-3-1. Spin move by Davis. Now Frazier again from the baseline. In the corner. Deep shot is no good. Rebound is loose and controlled by Hillcrest. That was offered up to get it.
A good patience. I don't have a problem with that shot against the 1-3-1.
Big stop for the Hawks. Brown the miss. A big stop for the Knights. Deal. Davis was stripped. The ball is out of bounds, though. Richwoods will have it with 2:01 to go here.
Look, just a little indecisive on Tylan Deal. Didn't know if he should push the ball or hold it.
Davis to trigger. The lob to Frazier, who was cutting in, but again couldn't finish. And he fouled Hillcrest's player, Eric Gaines, on the defensive rebound.
You'll see that one in his dreams for the next couple days. Just a great pass, got it up, just rolled it off.
A nicely executed play, just wasn't finished.
You know, they put Elwan in the ball side corner, and it brought the Hillcrest defense over to him because they're afraid of him getting the ball and firing it. Kind of open up the middle.
Brown penetrates, gets to Horn now, who's pinned in the corner. Offered in the paint. Count the basket. A huge three-point opportunity now for Herb Offord.
You know, I got to tell you, I think they got it right. He was not there. You can see his hip leaning into him. Contact, foul. It's a tough call, but I think it's the right one.
What a game for Herb Offord. Makes the free throw. Give him 9 points and 6 rebounds for the young man who's also the quarterback for the football team. He's given his squad a 3-point lead with a minute and a half to go in the state championship game. This is Davis. He finds Frazier wide open. Nicely done. Good pass, good finish. 1 point Hillcrest advantage.
Well, they've only got 4 fouls. They're going to have to take some fouls if they don't get the ball, and they got to do them quick.
Each team with 1 timeout remaining. A minute to play. And now a foul on Richwoods. You're right, that's just the 5th team foul, so still a couple to give here.
Got to be careful on that one that it's not a flagrant foul off the ball.
And a steal. Alwyn comes away with it on the inbounds. He takes it all the way to the rack, and he's fouled, it looks like. And so he's going to get some free throws.
You know, you could see his eyes light up when he saw that trap, and he comes down and just does a great job of drawing contact. It's about the second or third really smart defensive play that kid's made today.
The Knights with a half a dozen steals here this afternoon. And Alwyn going to try to capitalize at the free throw line. He's got 2 shots coming. He is a 69% free throw shooter. And Mike Ellis calls him a very cerebral player and an improved defender. And I think you saw both his defense and his smarts in the last 10 seconds.
You know, and he went up, missed 2 free throws right before this. Let's see if he can make both.
The Knights with the lead.
They got a foul to give. They just told, Coach Ellis just told everybody they got a foul to give. Let's see how they use it.
This is Brown, one-on-one with Aaron Davis. In traffic, Gaines, tough shot. He's fouled with 29.3 to go. He's going to be at the free throw line.
You know, he's been tough all year, and especially in the tournament. Look at how strong he is with the ball. Probably didn't do quite the job of squaring up that he wanted to.
So Gaines, a 53% free thrower to the line.
He was 3 for 10 yesterday, went up on his first one today, and just kind of said a prayer, but then after that settled down.
Much better effort. He has been huge here in the postseason. 26 points and 7 rebounds in the super sectional win over Robeson. 17 points and 7 boards against Centennial in the state semifinal yesterday, and clutch foul shots here to give the Hawks a 1-point lead.
They're stretching their defense a little bit.
Timeout, Richwoods. We'll step aside. 21 seconds to go. Back after you hear these network messages. Two weeks ago today, the Hillcrest girls played for a state championship, beaten by Montini 64-53 in the Class 3A girls basketball state title game. Now with 21.6 seconds to go, the Hillcrest boys lead Richwoods 56-51 in the 3A boys title game. What's going on in both these huddles here, Coach?
Well, you know, this is the way a title game is supposed to go. You know, it's down to the last possession or two. If you're Richwoods, you got to attack. You got to make them foul you, get a good look, be strong with the ball. I'm looking for Tylon Deal or Mason Alwyn to have the ball. And if you're Hillcrest, you just have to be smart and don't foul unnecessarily.
Let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, guys, Mike Ellis wants to get Tony Frazier on a back cut for a lay-in, or maybe Mason Alwyn as a secondary, as a backup. Back to you.
This is Davis. Now to TJ Cole. Tylon Deal. He's going to try the 18-footer, missed the shot. Hillcrest comes away with it, and a foul in the backcourt. And walking down to shoot free throws will be Nick Oden.
You know, that was a great call by Coach Houston. He went out of the 1-3-1 on that possession to a 2-3. He could guard Mason Alwyn in the corner, and also it took away any back cuts.
Oden to the free throw line, a 69% free throw shooter. Has really come to play this afternoon, 11 points and 4 rebounds.
You know, with 8 seconds left and a 1-point lead, I think I would put some kids in that block there.
But the Hawks have backed off. Back of the rim and then rolled in. And now Don Houston's going to bring his players to the foul line, it looks like. Eric Gaines takes a spot. Herb Alford's going to take a spot. 8.2 seconds remaining. The three-point shooters for Richwoods. Mason Alwyn, Aaron Davis, they're on the floor. Tylon Deal. It's a three-point game. This is Davis across the front court. This is Alwyn for the tie. Missed it. Gaines comes down with it, and the Hillcrest Hawks are the state champs for the first time in school history.
Well, it went down to the last possession. It was just an exciting game. This is where it's hard to have anybody lose the game, but you got to give credit to Hillcrest. They hung tough. They battled through a couple of different runs by Peoria. It was a great game. Made 4 free throws right down the end, and that's what champions do.
Much like Robinson last week in the 2A state tournament, Hillcrest had to go through the #1 and #2 ranked teams in the state in the Final Four to win a championship, and the Hawks did just that.
They were outstanding.
They started the postseason #3 in the rankings. They'll finish the season #1 in the states. Obviously a very dejected Richwoods bench, although Mason Alwyn had a good look.
Yeah, you got the ball to the guy who had the hot hand. I didn't see which Hillcrest kid. There's someone that just ran at him and got up high and made him alter his shot just a little bit at the end.
Well, let's take a look at our final statistics brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. A 58-55 state championship victory for Hillcrest.
They're pretty even. You look at the 3-point attempts, 6 for 20. I think that was a big deal. And when we look at points off of turnovers, points in the paint, those really were the 2 factors that I think gave Hillcrest an opportunity to win the game today.
What a state championship game. What a Final Four in 3A boys. 4 heavyweights coming here to play for a state championship, and Hillcrest will bring back the biggest trophy to Country Club Hills. We asked whether or not they were going to have their name on the list on the south suburbs, and they will. Let's go to Lee Hall now with the winners.
All right, Don Houston, you guys had a 9-point lead, and then, boy, Richwoods came back on you. Guys had to fight right down to the wire.
This is a state championship. You knew those guys weren't going to die. You got to give all credit to them. They're a great team. Our kids just had a little fight in them tonight, and they took us over.
Tell me about taking home a state championship and bringing it back to Country Club Hills.
Oh, that's excellent, man. The community, our Hawk Nation out there, we have so many alumni that's been texting my assistant coaches, telling them that they were following us, and this is for those guys, all those guys that put their hard blood, sweat, and tears into that court out there in 173rd. That's for all those guys. It's for Country Club Hills, Hazel Crest. It's for District 228, Tinley, Bremen, Hillcrest, Oak Forest, all of those guys. It's for everybody out there. My mom and my family.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy. All right, Eric Gaines, our Country Financial Player of the Game. Boy, you guys were tough with that defense, and aside from that third quarter, you guys played a whale of a ball game.
Man, it feels so good, man. We came out here and won state. Nobody ever thought we would get to this far. I didn't even think I was good. I knew we was gonna be down here, but I didn't think we was gonna be able to beat a good team like they had excellent teams down here, man. They feel real good.
You guys beat #2 yesterday, #1 today.
Oh yeah, we was practicing. We really didn't have a practice for Peoria. We knew they was a good team, a good shoot team, so we came out with our defense and played hard.
All right, congratulations, Eric.
Thank you.
All right, Eric Gaines, our Country Financial Player of the Game, as Hillcrest wins their first ever state championship, guys.
Thank you, Lee Hall. Well, you talk about how close you can be. Hillcrest wins this championship game by 3 points. So for the second time in 5 years, the Richwoods Knights have played in a championship game. They lost in overtime by 2, and they lost at the Horn by 3. That's how close you are between finishing first or second.
We were talking before the game a lot, and you think about the game, and you try to find something that will separate the teams. You really couldn't. This game was as close as we thought it was going to be.
All right, time for the medal ceremony. Let's go to Paul Herzog, the PA announcer.
At this time, let's meet the Richwoods Knights, who finished second in 3A for 2010 with a record of 30-3. The assistant superintendent, Dave Barnwell. Principal, Steve Potasic. Athletic Director, Diane Pettit. Athletic Trainer, Sarah Silver. Head Coach of the Knights, Mike Ellis. Assistant Coach, Robert Foster. Assistant Coach, William Smith. Assistant coach, James Roberts. Assistant coach, Mike Jenkins. Manager, Nico Lampkins. And David Anderson. The Knights, 3, Nate Desjardins. Four, Preston Wells. Five, Parrish Mason. Ten, Tylen Deal. $11, Jack Murphy. $12, Torrance Evans. Number 15, Aaron Davis. Number 22, Nick Hines. #24, Tony Frazier. #25, Jared Dame. 31, Will Jenkins. 32, Mason Alwyn. 33, Aaron Kemmerling. 34, Denzel Irving. 40, TJ Cole. The Richwoods Knights, second place, 3A 2010. At this time, please meet the Hawks of Hillcrest. First place, 2010, a record of 31-3, their superintendent, William Kendall. Principal, Renee Sims. Athletic Director, Lisa Munar. Athletic Trainer, Jason Hall. Head Coach, Don Houston. Assistant Coach, Dave Braden. Assistant Coach, Joe Bannock. Assistant Coach, Justin Edgecombe. Assistant Coach, Cornelius Crosley. Manager, Eric McCarter. Manager, Keenan Thornton. Now the Hawks players. Number 10, Jeremiah Horn. Number 12, Jayon Troutman. 14, Therese Haskins. 20, Julius Brown. 22, LeBaron Hall. 24, Eric Gaines. 30, Darren Tillman. 32, Nick Odin. 34, Herbert Offord. 40, Deshaun Wash. 42, Jalen Loving. 44, Cassell James. 50, Brandon Hill. 52, Pierre Johnson. And 54, Kadeem Thornton. The Hawks of Country Club Hillcrest, first place, 2010. At this time, will Coach Ellis and the captains of Richwoods step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations, Richwoods Knights. Second place, 2010. At this time, will Coach Houston and the captains of the Hawks step forward to receive the 3A 2010 Boys First Place Trophy. Congratulations to both schools, the administration, faculty, family, friends, and players, and the students. Successful 2010 season. Remember where you're driving next. Please buckle up, but please drive safely.
58-55, Hillcrest over Richwoods for the state title. What a game.
It was great, it was great from the beginning to the end. Both teams played their style of ball, tried to impose their will, and neither team could do that. If they would have played another 2 minutes, we might have had the same result. We might have had a different one.
The executive producer of state basketball on the IHSA television network is Jim O'Boy. Our producer-director this weekend, Roger Steele. For Lee Hall, Kevin Schnabel, Anthony Longstreet, my broadcast partner, Bill Hitt, and the rest of the great IHSA television network crew, I'm Kurt Pegler. Hillcrest is your state champion in Class 3A. We'll see you tonight for the 4A title game. We'll send it back to your local stations after these messages and a word from your local station.